Are you ready for question number 3, our final question, Lee?
I am.
I run a small digital marketing agency with 14 employees. We've been growing rapidly over the past year, which is great for business, but I'm starting to see some concerning signs among my team. Our clients are demanding more and more, often expecting immediate responses and quick turnarounds. To keep them happy, we've been working longer hours and even weekends, but I've noticed my employees are looking exhausted. There's been an increase in sick days, and a couple of my best performers have said they might be looking for other opportunities, citing burnout. I want to keep our clients satisfied, but not at the expense of my team's well-being. Help, Leanne, what do I do?
Don't keep your clients satisfied at the expense of your people's well-being. You said that you don't want to do that. Don't do it. That's what you're doing currently. I think it's about red flags, isn't it? I think there's things that we can ask as a business owner and go, is this okay? Is this going to escalate? Or is there things that we can look at as a business owner and go, oh, no, this is broken. The wheel's about to fall off and we're about to crash and burn. Red flag number 1 is that people are telling you that they're burnt out. Red flag number 2 is that people are taking more sick days. And red flag number 3 is that some of your best people are saying they're going to leave unless things change. If that isn't enough motivation to start to put your people before your customers, I'm not really sure what else will be, until you'll be in a position where you're forced to put your people first, or indeed you won't have the people to put your customers first, so it's all going to fall apart anyway. The tricky thing is, 14, it sounds like you've had some rapid growth. 14 is that number where kind of that business maturity shift is needed from kind of startup to scale up, from people, from processes, from operations perspective. It could be the growing pains of that. Maybe it's that you're going through a very busy time and there's a deadline to this. 2 months time, it's going to be over for whatever the reason is. I would be nervous even 2 months. I'd be nervous at 2 weeks at this point, to be honest, at the way things have escalated to. High workloads are one of the biggest causes of burnout. High workloads are not sustainable. And if you're going to sit there, and I've sat in meetings with business leaders, board directors who have rolled their eyes when I've said that, and I've gone, yeah, but what do you think is going to happen? People are going to leave. And they have. It's the biggest source, one of the biggest sources of burnout. It's not sustainable. You're going to have to figure out a way to bring workloads down, whether that's going to be streamlining processes, removing any bottlenecks or clunky processes, bringing in other technology to streamline some processes, bringing in physical people, extra resources, look at maybe contractors or freelancers to get those roles filled quickly and to provide the extra support quickly, particularly if it's taking you some time to actually bring new people into your business, or really look at whether your customer demands are unreasonable. There is a point where as a business, you'll start to outgrow your customers. And, typically, largely anecdotally, but also I'm sure everyone listening will go, yeah. The customers that are the biggest pain in your arse are usually the ones that pay you the least. So it might just be time that you've outgrown some of those customers, and it's better to let them go now and retain and protect the well-being and engagement of your people. There's lots of ways to go about it, but I think ultimately this is going to need a really quick, sharp intervention to take away some of this high workload before people really start to crack. It sounds like they're already cracking, but maybe before they crash and burn. So that would be my thought. Try and get some extra resources in, try and streamline some processes, or maybe it's time to sunset some of those customers.
Excellent advice. I love how your advice also verges onto the general business advice as well as the people. This is really cool. I think what Leanne's saying is absolutely right. You have to think about this, that there's nothing you can do now to fix this, unless, of course, you can offload a load of this, like Oliver was saying, a load of this to AI. That's possible. Now, that might be, you can carry on the status quo if you do that. But if you don't, people are going to leave. And you go, well, let me just go back to my customers and say we can't service them the way we used to. They'll leave. Well, someone's going to leave if you carry on like this. Your customers will leave or your people will leave. And imagine you fast forward 6 months, 2 of your best people have gone. You're back down to 11. You have to quickly recruit to fill this customer demand. The customers are going to be even more angry because you can't fulfill the current demand and you're also splitting your time trying to find someone else. Why have you not got enough people to satisfy the demand from the clients? It could be that you have promised too much to the clients. It could be you're not charging them enough and therefore you've not got enough money to go and get more people and add to your team. Or it could be maybe that you just want to keep more money yourself and you're not willing to invest in getting more people. I'm not saying that is the case, but usually if you've got a lack of resource to service the demand, it's usually down to you're not charging enough or you're not investing enough in your team.
It is about the business as well. You know, it is about the organization. It's all one thing. It's all interconnected. It's not, they don't exist in silos. Operations and processes impact people's time and quality of work. You know, particularly in a service-based business, your people are essentially your product. So how you're investing in them and their development and their sense of balance is going to impact the level of service and quality of work they can give to customers. It all feeds in, which is why it blows my mind that there's businesses out there with 20, 30 people and that have never even really thought about people and culture. You've been really lucky so far, you know, if you're not mindfully thought about that. It is all part of the same ecosystem, the same organizations. All these things intertwine.